Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to another video here on Free Will Photos. Today, what we're going to be doing is taking a look at adding double LUTs into an image and really stylizing a photo. We're also going to use some AI mask, and it's going to be one of those walkthroughs of a tutorial where I think you'll learn how to use the tools. And that's the goal here, is to show you an idea and then what tools you can use to kind of pull that idea together. So let's go ahead and get started by adding in a LUT. So we'll add just any LUT. I'm going to go with this LUT here, the Akin. I'm probably not pronouncing that right at all, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. We're going to go ahead and increase the saturation. And I like what it's doing to just the building in this particular style. So I'm going to click the layer mask to the building, and then I'm going to come over to the mask settings, and I am going to select architecture. Now this is going to select the building. I'm going to hit that, and I want to paint this in, and I'm going to hit apply. So ON1's going to think itself through. It's going to build a mask that is just going to apply to the building. If I hit the letter O, you can see I have my building selected. Unfortunately, it's not the most precise mask, but don't worry about that. We'll clean that up here in a little bit. So now what I need to do is grab my refine tool. So I'm going to come over here to the top, click on refine brush, and I want to actually transition this to the red overlay mask. So I'm going to come down to the very bottom of ON1, click this little drop down arrow, and this is going to give me my masking overlay options. So I'm going to select the red overlay and hit the letter O. Now, what you can see is the red overlay, it shows you anything that's in red means that the mask is not, or the effect is not going to go into those areas. It's a little backwards than in other software, where the highlighted section or the portion that's highlighted in red is where the software is trying to tell you that it's applying the effect. But in ON1, it's the reverse of that, if you're familiar with it. If this is your first time seeing it, then don't worry about it. Just know that the red is showing where none of your effect is going, and then wherever you see your image, that's where that's the part of the image that's about to get affected by whatever effect you're going to use. And then of course, if I hit grayscale, you can see white shows, black hides. All right, that's all that this little overlay is doing for us. But it comes in really handy when you start working with refine tools, because it allows you to see which portions of the image really need to get fixed. Now, this isn't going to be a real detailed video on refine brush or anything of that sort, because I want to show you just how to use the tool so you can get the best look that you possibly can inside of ON1 Photo Raw. So underneath the method, I'm going to select hard edges, and I'm going to leave this on auto. That's going to determine, like the computer is going to decide what needs to be done in a given situation. And all I'm going to do is click and drag over the areas that I want this mask to be refined. And then ON1, you can see it cleaned up those areas for me. Again, it's not perfect, but I'm working with a LUT. I don't need this to be absolutely precise. I just need it to be good enough for the thing that I want to be able to do, which is apply some color to this building. And most of these areas that I'm painting over, they're translucent, and the sky is kind of behind there, right? The little railing piece, I don't need that to get the color adjustment that the building's getting, because it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things for the overall look. So I'm going to come down and grab all of this here. And right here is actually a really good spot that I wanted to kind of showcase the power of using this tool. So you can see that there's nothing but sky really behind there. So ON1 is just going to paint all of that in as part of the sky. So I'm just going to quickly go through here, and this is how you really clean up a look in your image. So you know, if you apply one of the AI masking tools and it just doesn't do a really good job, then consider using one of these tools to figure out if that's going to be a better way of applying this effect or the mask to your overall image. See if we can clean that little piece up down there. And I think that's as good as we're going to get that portion, at least with auto. And I could take a brush and go paint that in, but I'm not going to worry about it all that much. We're just going to let the auto do its thing. All right. Good, bad, indifferent. We're going to let it do its thing. Hit the letter O. And now what I'll do is I'll increase the contrast, or maybe decrease it. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So now with the contrast decreased, what I'm going to do is copy this mask. So I'm going to select the layer mask again, hover over masking, and I'm going to hit the little icon here to copy the mask, because we have a pretty good mask now, or at least I think we do. So I'm going to hit add filter. We're going to come over to LUT again, and this time I'm going to hit blues, and I am going to saturate this like crazy. And you can see it's impacting our building. I don't want it to be on the building, so I'm going to click on the mask, hover over the mask settings, and then I'm going to paste this mask in. Now, it's initially going to go over the building, but I want to just go ahead and invert this, so that way it's going over the background. I am going to pull down on the contrast. One of these directions. Yeah, maybe this direction. And I'll even pull down on the overall LUT. Now, what you'll see here is there's a glow going around the building. The way that I would recommend fixing that is using the chisel tool. So if I come up here to the top and select chisel brush, I get the chisel tool. Now, I'm not going to go over all the settings, but what I want to do is add into the mask. Again, wherever you see red inside of ON1, that means the effect is not going there. So if you look at the very edge, let me zoom in here. And now we're kind of pixel peeping, but it's important for the mask overall. If you look at this very, very edge, you can see how it is just sticking off of the building a little bit. And that's what's causing the halo. And that's what causes the halo in pretty much any image that you ever work in. Whenever you see a halo around your subject, that's what's happening. Is it's not like right up onto the edge. Now, my recommendation is twofold. First, you want to come to the chisel tool and you want to add to your mask. So with the red overlay selected, I'm just going to go ahead and double click, and you can see what the chisel tool is doing. It's just pulling into the mask here, and you can really see it on the top. But if you just pay attention over here to the side, I'm just going to keep double clicking until I see that come right up to the edge of the building. And I think that that's good right there. All right. Now you can see that it's starting to bleed over to the top of the building here. And that is why I recommend the second part of what I'm going to say. So let's hit Command and 0. So that way we zoom back out, because we don't need to be in that close. And we'll hit the letter O to turn off the overlay. And you can see there's still like a slight glow happening around the edge of the building. But if you come over to the feather and you feather that edge, that tends to do a really good job at just fading everything in with one another. Now, we may need to chisel this a little bit more, so we'll double click until we see that glow kind of fade away overall. But what you want to be wary of, if we hit the letter O, we don't want it to come into the edges of the building, but I think that that looks pretty good overall for what we want to do today. Now, there's other ways of cleaning up that edge, but I'm not going to worry about that. So now that I have my building and the LUT and everything put together, and I think I did want this pulled down just a bit here. Let's take a look at our before and after. So here's the before and here is the after. Now, what else could we do to this image to really help develop this look overall? Well, I think that if we add in a tone enhancer, and we'll click on the mask here, and we will paste our mask in. And again, when it initially goes on, it's going to go over the building. And I think that that's fine for our first go around. What I think we want to do is maybe lower the exposure just a little bit, not that much. I want to make the building a little bit more contrasty, and let's increase the clarity and even maybe push up on some of the detail. And then we'll come over to the blue channel. And what I like to do in my LUT technique is make one item a little bit more warm and the other item a little bit more cool. It already works out that we have this contrast happening with the blue sky being cool and the building being a little bit more warm. So all I'm going to do is pull down on the midtones in the curve filter here, and that just adds in a little bit of warmth to the building. Now this could be way too much for the overall look, so what I'm going to do is just pull down on the opacity overall, and then if I turn this off and turn it back on, you can see it makes the building a little bit more contrasty, a little bit darker, and in my opinion, a little bit more interesting. Now, we need to do something with the sky. So we're going to go add tone enhancer, click on the mask here, and I'm going to come over and paste in my mask. And this time it's going to apply to the building, but I want it to the sky. So I'm going to invert it. Now I am targeting just the background of, or the sky in this image, or at least what was masked out to be the sky. And what I'm going to do is push the exposure of the sky just a little bit more. And I'm going to, let's see if an S curve works pretty good with the sky. And yeah, I think that works. And then I'll bring down some of the detail in the sky because I don't think we need that much detail. And this is all subjective. You can do whatever you want in your own editing. I just want to show you the capability of what we could do with ON1. So let's go ahead and pull down some of the highlights in the sky. And then let's turn this off, turn it back on. I think it can go a little bit brighter. And we'll pull down the edges here, or just a little bit of the opacity to kind of fade that in with the original look. And that's the beauty of working with all of these effects in ON1. You could do so many things and then fade in with the original, so that way it doesn't look like overly crazy or anything of the sort. So here's what we started with when we opened up the photo in ON1. And with a little bit of color grading and working with LUTs and masks, we were able to get to this. Now again, this is just a proof of concept of what you could do on your own images using LUTs. I do encourage you to use them and try out different looks on your images. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are and how well this worked out for you in the comment section below. And if you would like to pick up ON1 Photo Raw, save a little bit of money, consider using my coupon code FreeWillPhotos20. It'll save you a little bit of money at checkout, and I do make a small commission, but that's at no extra cost to you. It's a win-win. If you got questions, leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.